Perfect. Because California is the only place. The weather is well, actually, absolutely, that's totally true. If you're going to have a nexus, it's got to be a place people would want to go to. So we have the weather, we have the tourism, and we have the world image. Everybody knows us and has a positive image of us. So if we did actually offer our services, we already have the marketing and advertising segment already done. It would simply be offering the service. The reason that only we can offer this service is that we are the only place that has all of the superpower peoples having lived together for over a century. So let's take a look at Australia. Australia has Chinese and Indian people. They got them in the last 10 years. Type in Australia, race riots. See what comes up. People talk a big game about diversity. It is extremely new. And they have routine riots. Type in race riots France, race riots England, race riots Australia, Japan, Turkey, Sweden. They don't do it well. We've actually made it popular. We've made having all these peoples work together, live together for over a century. We have hard proof. Other people are literally just sticking their pinky toe in the pool for the first time. They cannot say that they can pull off. We're the only ones on the planet who can.
Note that the United Nations was birthed in San Francisco.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It absolutely was. California was seen as the actual best place for the UN 70 years ago. And I'm arguing we still are. The reason they moved it to New York City was by Washington, D.C. And the federal government wanted to make sure that they had as much influence in this UN organization as possible. But the original site was in downtown San Francisco.
What would keep the other countries from looking at California sets itself up as going, okay, I see what they're saying, that they're still part, really, of the United States. And so they're acting as like a front man for Washington still, sort of thing. Because it sounds to me like we always need to have a bit more real independence as a country. And full independence, otherwise that's the same argument we use. Well, okay, it just looks nice, but and even the thing with the as impressive as the thing with granted against Puerto Rico, every few years they do vote on that, and for some reason decide to keep Commonwealth status. But and the thing with the Indian tribes, okay, that's nice, but still, they're still part of the United States.
Well, the natives were never given an option to join the U.S. They were just taken over. So they never even had a chance to vote or join the way every other American has.
I understand that. I'm saying about the other countries. They look at California. California is a semi-autonomous area.
Oh, yeah.
And they're thinking, well, there's some other places that are semi-autonomous and maybe they're not really that, and in the background, what would some other country really do? And if they really went against the United States, they would come in and get them because they're part of it. How do you deal with that? Other folks are looking at that, and they will look at it that way.
Absolutely they will. Good question. And there was a part of your question I didn't answer. I'll get back to that right after this. Switzerland. But again, subnational sovereignties are the dollar and the military stay intact, and all of their policies return. It is a form of government found by 25 nations around the world that are all democracies and stable economies. Switzerland was a subnational sovereign unit of France when it made the move to become the Global Negotiation Center. It was not fully independent. It used the French franc, which is why it's called the Swiss franc. And the Swiss military was co-opted into the French army, I believe, under Napoleon, which is why you still have, some of the old French guard related to the Catholic Church, the Vatican. So they had the exact same form of government like proposing for California, and it was good enough for Europe to buy into it. Secondly, Turkey recently. America has built Turkey, developed it. Their economy's backed by the U.S. dollar. We've ran their military for 50 years. But, which is basically a form of the dollar and the military being linked to the U.S. Recently, though, the Turks have started to try to make their own image. And everyone in the Middle East knows that Turkey has received military aid and money from America since the 1950s. All of the Arab countries are still willing to see Turkey as a neutral arbiter in their affairs. So people are willing to still trust a country as independent enough, even if they are subnational sovereign. Switzerland did it, and now we have a modern example.
Yes, but Switzerland ended up being subnational in 1850, and it's been armed neutral since that time. In other words, so since that time, it has not been a subnational of another country. The United States of California, though, is a subnational of a country that, another country that had, in essence, has its military power. And I'm just wondering whether other countries looking at it for big as Switzerland today would not really recognize it as that much of an independent player on it. I mean, for example, we're in the middle of negotiations or something, and something weird happens in the American Army invades, and that kind of deals a little bit of a blow to the idea about how independent or even subnational independent we are. Remember too, also, we've got to deal where we're linked to a dollar. A monetary system in the United States has got some very major problems. I'm talking about the way that the Fed deals with money situations. Yeah, and so there's a lot of problems on there with it. And so we're not just simply the matter of the military, the dollar link there is going to be a big problem.
Right.
Now, if our dollar was really good and sound, like it once was, so then that wouldn't be a problem. But anytime
very complex. Rules like here is how are you going to deal with the federal programs and it takes the currency, wealth, in fact, everything. I mean, you're related in every single way to the state of the central constitution. How about this? Federal highways. How are you going to compensate the federal government? How are you going to keep this sort of triffication relationship to establish yourself?
Maybe we didn't go back to the beginning because I think I'm confused. Are you proposing California becomes a neutral turf for negotiation, discussion, things like that, as opposed to all these other economic things, use the dollar, military intervention, is it just limited neutral turf, and that's how the economy gets more
Yes. Yes.
But it's not changing
Outside of the military, well, okay, I'm gonna answer this one, then I'm gonna answer this one, then I'm gonna answer this one. They're all separate questions.
Good God, dude! It's just, and then blah blah blah, and then and